This is Maraud the Mines on normal and hard. I'm going to show you how to get there from the quest entrance. It's a little bit of a hike. And I'm going to walk it rather than take the horse, just so it's easier to see. And you start off just kind of going down this center path that we've gone to for a couple of the crypt quests. But then once you get to this knoll, you want to kind of like kind of veer off a little bit to your left up this hill here, and this we'll just kind of go around this way. And you can kind of see there's there's that big mountain that was kind of our reference point. Just kind of follow this all the way along to the left until we get to a drop down point. And we get to this like sort of not really a drop down point, but sort of a, I mean, you could drop down, but we're just going to kind of keep following it here through this center area. And there's a rare to your left here if you want to get it. But I'm just going to keep going straight, and it's going to be off to our right from here. If you kind of look here, right? I mean, you're going to go straight ahead there for Chain the Flames, which is a level 12 quest, and then we're going to go off to the up that little hill to the right for Maraud the Mines. And we'll just go out of our way to fight stuff in the wilderness here, but anything that attacks us, we'll just deal with. And then you kind of you can see that cave there and the shrine, right? This is the entrance to the quest, and there's a shrine if you need to use it. So I'm just going to go in here, and there's a few enemies there by the shrine. I'm going to go in a normal. Alright, so we're going to go out this exit here, which takes us to like a central area. We're going to get probably a fair amount of aggro. And usually I just make this first right and go into this first cave here. Different people have a different kind of approach to it, but I like to stay out of that middle area as much as I can. And then you're going to run across these areas here. Alright, when you smash open these storage bins, you might find an impure black iron ore. And we need to find 4 of these here in various breakables. There's another one. Just hit Q. Make sure you're not missing any, and then you can go on to the next area. And there'll never be a question like of can you find them. There's always going to be 4. It's just they'll be in like different random locations. But in this area, they're always in these kind of breakables off these little island things. And there's a third one. There's a treasure bag. Just going to make sure I'm not missing anything. Nope. And there's another way up here. Usually go to the right first, because the left is kind of the way out. And there we've got our fourth. So we have our fourth, so we can now leave the area. That's the steel 4 ingots objective. I think there might be a rust monster here or something. There they are. I don't think we have to fight them. I'll just show you the other area. This is the other area you can get the iron ore from. Or the, yeah, the iron ore ingots, but we don't need them. So I'm going to go out this way, which is different than the way we entered. And you can make that jump there. It always seems a little risky to me, so I go up this way. And again, I find if I go this way, I get a little bit less aggro from stuff, because I'm sort of killing stuff before I ever get to a point where I'm really vulnerable to a lot of enemies here. So, not a bad idea to kill these guys up high. They do a lot of damage. Even on Reaper, you know, you might want to kill them, especially if they're champions. So, leave them there. And then this is the second area.
A gnoll with black fur and blood-red markings growls a challenge at you.
And you could take out some of these archers if you want. They don't do too much damage. And then here you just look for the storage bins. So we need 2 of these jankets. We've got 1, so we'll just check for all the storage bins in the area until we find one. And there we are. So there's an optional fight up here. You don't have to do it, and there's really no reason to do it. It's just random loot. It's kind of a tough fight on Reaper. So I'm just going to go back. Like, we're done with this area. That's all you have to do. Then when you come out here, make a right. There's going to be like an earth elemental area here that we'll clear to get some items, or to get some gems. And we have our fire opals, so we don't need to get any more fire opals. Looks like there's more in here, but we don't really need to get any. And now we just need to get the blood rubies. Which I think is maybe all the way up on top here. Yep, there we go. So
an armored Shino growls back while chilling you.
And then we just kind of go to these caves off to the sides. kind of a pain because of the archers, but same thing, you just smash stuff. And there's an uncut ruby, and they're not going to follow us, so I'm just going to ignore them. They're not doing much damage. We'll see how it is on Reaper. Alright, let's go this way. Alright, so now we get the uncut ruby, and that is a quest. So I'm going to recall out. Actually, I'm going to pause it, and then restart at the quest giver. And you get your quest reward from Wayfinder Scaver, who seems to give you the quest reward giver for most of these. This is interesting. So thieving gloves. So accuracy deception, not bad, not great. Repair 11 doesn't do much for us, so not as promising as it might have looked at first. So nothing great. I'm just going to grab an item to sell to the vendor, and then I'm going to pause it while I make my way back to the quest. Going back into Maraud the Mines on hard. I'm going to take the same exact path as last time.
The air in the mine is thick with choking fumes. Its walls black with coldness.
And I'm fatigued. Lesser restoration will fix that. There's one iron ore. And there's two. So pretty easy on hard mode. There's 3 ores. Ooh, that was a wrong turn. And there's our 4th. So first area done. And again, we're going to fatigued again. We're going to circle around, play it safe as opposed to jumping. and also clearing these areas. And I really should be giving my hireling fire resist here.
A gnoll with black fur and blood-red markings growls a challenge at you.
There's one uncut Janeth. And there's two. So I'm just going to grab these and get out of here. There's no real reason to do this optional for a random loot chest, especially on Reaper mode. That guard didn't seem to be upset by me, so I just ignored him. And then we just make this first right here to the Earth Elemental area. There's one opal and two opal. So we're done with this area. Don't think there's a chest there. And then you kind of, when you come out here, you make a right, go kind of towards the top. And then right before you get to the shrine area, you want to make a right for the last area. Right here.
Armored Shino growls a battle.
Stone guard.
Your blood.
Nice, friendly chest. I'll take that remnant chest. Nothing there. There's one ruby. And that's it. Then we'll go head to the next area. So we'll see how this is on Reaper mode. I think it's going to be probably still fine to ignore and just go in and get the rubies and leave. Archers typically don't bother. And there's two uncut rubies. So I'm going to pause it while I head to the quest giver. Alright, let's see what we got for end reward. Let's see, is it? No, if it only was Death Ward, Vitality Death Ward would be great. Actually, I think there's another one called Health, which is Vitality and Con. So really looking, I mean, I've seen, I've seen a lot of just Death Block or just Vitality, but never seen them together. So that is Marauding the Mines on normal and hard.